everyone, it's Lucy from My Crazy Craft Life, and I'm here today with the design team post for Scrapping for Less. I'm going to be making this super cute card using the March 2020 Flavor of the Month card kit, and it's a diamond fold card. So you're going to start out by having a 4-inch by 12-inch piece of cardstock. And you're going to score it every 2 inches except at the 6-inch mark. You're just going to mark that with a pencil. So at 2 inches, at 4 inches, at 8 inches, and then at 10 inches. And then, like I said, you're just going to mark off at the 6-inch with a little notch on each side. Then you're going to make some diagonal score lines. You're going to go from the 2-inch mark down to that 6-inch mark, and you're going to score all the way across. And you're going to do that on both sides, the top and the bottom. And then you're also going to do it at the 10-inch side down to the 6-inch line. So like I said, this is really simple, and once you get through it, that is all of the scoring that you have to do for this card. Then it's just a matter of folding it up to create that diamond in the front. So it's very, very simple. And then I'll get into all of the measurements for how you're going to decorate it and what you're going to do with that. So like I said, I use the line and bring my bone folder or my folder down so that I make sure that I have it straight, because I have a hard time seeing the difference. Especially I have 1/8 of an inch, you know, my lines go all the way to 1/8 of an inch and they're pretty close together, so I just want to make sure that I am doing that correctly. So once you get done with that, you want to make sure you use your bone folder and make those lines really crisp. And you're going to start out by folding a valley and then a mountain. So a valley and a mountain on both sides. So the 2-inch line, and then the 4-inch line, and then the 8-inch line, and the 10-inch line. And like I said, make sure that they're real straight, because if they're not straight, your card will come out a little crooked. Then you're going to score the diagonal lines. And like I said, just make sure that they're nice and crisp so that it's easier to fold. And then that's it. And you can kind of see it already taking shape there. And you're just going to press in those two sides on the top and the bottom nearest to the diamond on both sides. And then you do the other side. Like I said, then I would just run my bone folder over everything and make sure that you got a nice, crisp, even edge on everything. And that's it. That is your little 4-inch card. So it will be a 4-inch square when it's all done. And after this, I'm going to show you how to make an envelope, particularly for your square cards after you make them, and to make sure that you always have one that fits. So in order to decorate these, you're going to need some pattern paper, and it's whatever you decide that you want. But the pieces that you're going to need are one 2.5-inch square. That's the one that's going to go in the center. You need two 1 3/4 by 3 3/4 inch pieces. Then you need two 3 3/4 inch squares. And you're going to cut these in half diagonally, so they are going to make some triangles. And you're going to end up cutting those in half as well. So you're going to cut that in half. Make sure you line it up, because this is what's going to be going on all the different areas in the folds. And so you want to make sure that those are straight and that they'll line up well. Then you're going to cut them again to fit in the little area, the smallest area. And you have 8 of those areas. Now I use 2 different patterns for the areas, but you can certainly use however many or few that you want. So you end up with 8 of the small triangles, 2 of the larger triangles that you're going to put on the sides, and then 2 of the pieces that you're going to put on the complete side, you know, at the very end of the cards, and then the square that's going to go in the center. So those are all the pieces. So this is my center piece, and I'm just going to piece it all together. Now, one thing you do want to make sure is, if you're using pattern paper, you want to make sure that it's going to fit in and that the pattern is going to be going the right way. So you may end up having to cut extra paper so that you can get the pattern in the right direction. Like I said, that's kind of what I was doing here. I wanted to make sure that I had the patterns in all of the right directions. Really, I only had that one that had a pattern that I had to worry about being in the right direction. But So that's pretty much it, right? That's pretty simple, very easy. Like I said, the biggest thing is just to make sure that you score your card well and that you make sure that it's straight when you're folding it. So you do just want to kind of take a little care and a little time, and that makes all the difference in the world when you're making fun fold cards. If you can do that, you can make tons of fun fold cards because, like I said, they're very simple. Making sure that you get it scored and folded straight is the biggest problem that I find people having when they're trying to make fun fold cards. So you just have to take that extra second or two to make sure that everything is really straight. And then after that, you are good to go. So I'm going to finish up putting these little decorations on there. Like I said, I used just a couple different pattern papers for mine. And that's it. Now, once you get all of your pieces on, you're going to want to make sure that it's still folding okay and everything. And then I used my bone folder again just to make sure everything was flattened down and scored really well. Then we're going to get to decorating. Now, I used collection number 1 from the March Flavor of the Month card kit for all of these embellishments and papers. And this was collection 1. I did use a cutout. I have a Fiskars punch out thing that makes that kind of flowery round scalloped edge for the sentiment. I thought that would kind of go along perfectly. And I have some Distress Oxide in, what color did I use? Dusty Concord to stamp the sentiments as well as just to put a little color around. Now for this, I decided to have our little bunny here holding a flower, and so I just used my craft knife to kind of cut his hands apart so that it looked like he was actually holding the flower. And there I added glue to the top when I didn't want it because otherwise it will stick to the rest of the card. And then I did add a little bit on the bottom there. But this is all ephemera from the kit, so I think it's super cute with the spring theme and everything. And I was kind of going back and forth, as you can see, on what I wanted. After I kind of looked at this video, I really did like the two bunnies looking at each other, like holding on to the hands. I thought that was super cute, but I ended up not going along with that one, so this is how it ended up turning out. But I decided to use 2 sentiments, one on each side, and then just the ladybugs along with that larger flower, and then that the bunny's kind of standing in, the bunny and then the flower that he's holding. And then I will finish it off with some enamel dots that were part of this collection as well. So you can see how cute this card comes out and how simple it really is to make. It's a very quick card considering you know, when you look at it, you think that it's kind of a lot more to it than it actually is. So that is it for the card. Now I'm going to show you how to make an envelope for this. So what you want to do is you're going to measure the card that you're trying to fit into the envelope. And like I said, this works perfectly for square cards. So you're going to measure across diagonally. Now this one diagonally is about 5.5 inches. So you're going to cut a piece of paper about 1 inch more than that. So here is my paper that I cut from my envelope. And I am just going to notch off the center, but on each side. So all 4 sides, but right in the center. And that's where I'm going to make my little tucks or snips for the envelope. Now, if you don't have one of these little punches, you can certainly just cut out a little triangle right there. Make sure it's not too big. You want it to be pretty small. And then I'm going to take my bone folder and just crease the paper to make sure that I fold it. You could just put the card in there right now and kind of fold it over on itself, but I wanted it just to look a little straighter. When you do it with the bone folder, you're going to get a much straighter edge, and it'll just look a little crisper and cleaner when you get through with the whole thing. So then where you cut the little triangles, you're just going to run your bone folder right across there. And it's not that you're trying to score it really hard, you just want to make sure that you got that line. Then you fold everything over, Make sure that your little card fits in there. I was having trouble with the flower because I ended up putting it a little too far out, but otherwise it fits perfectly in there. Now I'm going to, on two sides, on the opposite sides of each other, whichever sides you choose, you're going to put some score tape, and then you're going to adhere one side down, and make sure wherever you put your score tape that it's not going to end up attaching to the inside of the envelope. So you see how I kind of put it right there in the center. And then, like I said, you'll see I have a little trouble getting this flower in because it's actually bigger than the rest of the card, but I was able just to kind of tuck that in. And that's it. There's my little envelope. So that will work for all of them. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope everyone is taking care and is staying healthy. And I hope everybody has a great day. Take care. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you.